Call of Duty. Oh, brother. There's so many things wrong with this freaking franchise that I don't even know where to start complaining. The horrible microtransactions that used to be useful, and they now serve less purpose than a Discord mod showerhead. The same rinse and repeat algorithm that Activision uses to get a shot game out that is entirely a cash grab. Or should I complain about the absolutely ridiculous file size that pretty much makes me delete every other important game and file I have just to play Modern Warfare 2019 with a new coat of brown paint over it? I gotta sit down, bro. My head hurts. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved Call of Duty for years. Loved, as in past tense. As in not anymore because the franchise is so incredibly cooked. COD 4 or the original Modern Warfare, great. Black Ops 1, awesome. MW2, peak. BO2, the peakest. Shut up, I'm not going to argue about this. With a run of games as beautiful as this one, how could Activision possibly screw this up? Well then, say hello to Murder Suspect number 1. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was the first real mixed bag of the franchise. Some people really loved the game, and others thought it was completely unplayable. Side note, I personally think that if you didn't like the EXO movement and then the later jetpack movement in BO3 and Infinite Warfare, you were trash. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just a skill issue if you were moaning about the movement's too futuristic, it's too fast. Bro, adapt. You're not 60 years old. You can learn new things. That's besides the point. EXO movement was also not the only new addition that Advanced Warfare made to the COD franchise, though, because it also brought microtransactions. The bane of every mother's credit card's existence, and the sole reason why I have more money spent in Fortnite than in my college tuition. Advanced Warfare introduced supply drops. These were locked behind a COD point paywall to access. I mean, you could still get them in other ways, just not as fast and as many as you could get with COD points. And the only way to get those COD points was to make your wallet Activision's personal ATM. You couldn't get them by wagering like you used to be able to in Black Ops 1, which meant if you wanted a weapon variant or a helmet skin, good luck trying to get it if you're not willing to drop tens or even hundreds of dollars for the chance to get what you want. That was the worst part. Nothing was guaranteed, and everything was up to RNG that always entirely seemed to freak me over. BO3 took the system and somehow made it even worse by adding entirely new DLC weapons to the game that were barred behind that same paywall. But here's the thing. The loot box era of COD was rage-inducing and too RNG heavy, but at least some of the rewards were functional and changed gameplay. There was actually an incentive to open your wallet because if you got lucky, you could actually get something useful. Fast forward to the post-MW 2019 era, and things have somehow gotten even exponentially worse. The loot box system did get erased, but that's a good thing, right? No more RNG-dependent loot. But the other thing that also got wiped was the functional side of DLC. Yup, that's right, they got rid of the one thing that made buying loot boxes actually worth the price, to some extent, and made every single purchase cosmetic only. What made loot boxes alright at the time was that they were technically not locked behind a paywall, like crypto keys from BO3 that you could still use, and that there were rewards that actually did something from the player if they got lucky. It also really didn't matter how much money they spent, if any at all, because it's all up to luck. You might get a DLC weapon, and you also might, most likely, get a terrible operator skin. Now there's no currency other than COD points that can only be acquired through directly spending money on them, and not a single purchase is useful to the player. And don't even get me started on the skins themselves. That actually brings me to my next point. Alright, let's play a little game here. I'm going to show you a character, and I want you guys to guess whether they're in Call of Duty or not. I'll start with an easy one. If you said Call of Duty, great job. How about this one? Yeah, I mean, of course Elmo wouldn't be in COD. How about... Wow, that was a hard one. Wouldn't have guessed that myself either. Okay, how about... Yep, she's in COD because that makes sense. Alright. Last one. Yep, believe it or not, KD, the NBA player who has never stepped foot near a war zone, is in Call of Duty. Thanks for playing. Why the freak can I play as Nicki Minaj or a Teletubby in a game about war? Seriously, like what was Activision thinking? In a game like Fortnite where the atmosphere is already cartoony and unrealistic, bringing collabs with other franchises and celebrities at least made a little bit of sense. Ninja in Fortnite? Oh, okay, that makes sense. LeBron in Fortnite? That's fine by me. Shit, even that Skibbity toilet skin fits in the game. Now let's go over to COD. In a game about boots on the ground soldiers who are practically ghosts and kill hundreds of people on the daily, you mean to tell me that one of these operators is a giant purple blob from a creepy old TV show for kids? How does that make any sense at all? Now I can't even tell the difference between COD and Fortnite anymore, and the game feels just so much more goofy than it used to. I do have a feeling that it's because the younger gaming generation is so used to bright, flashy colors and unrealistic gameplay. Thanks, Fortnite. And COD wants to appeal to that audience to make more money. And speaking of making more money, the fact of the matter is that Call of Duty does not feel like a passion project anymore. It feels more like the same cash grab annual release with a new coat of paint over it. People say the same thing about a lot of sports games like Madden or 2K. I totally agree with that, but that's a rant for another day. Let's look at an example. Modern Warfare 2019, it's a good game. It was better than average even. And then comes Cold War the year after, which is similar to Modern Warfare 2019 in some ways, but it still felt like a Black Ops game. It felt like its own unique experience. And then that's it. That's the end of the differences. Out comes Vanguard, and that was Modern Warfare 2019 if it took place in World War II. Literally nothing was different. The same engine being used made the game feel identical to the one that had come out 2 years prior, and that's not even scratching the surface of the issues with Vanguard. Vanguard, terrible game. I don't even want to get into that. And then comes Modern Warfare 2, the reboot, and lo and behold, nothing changed again. They somehow made weapon progression worse, and that's all they did. Not a single difference in the games again, except for a different font in the HUD. And then Modern Warfare 3, that was even worse, because again, it was the same game as the one before it. BO6 comes out, and then it doesn't feel like Modern Warfare 2019, it feels more like Cold War. Do you see the issue here? We have gotten zero improvement since Modern Warfare 2019. In case your math is bad, that's 6 whole years of nothing new from Activision HQ. You know, if I wanted to play Modern Warfare 2019, I'd go play Modern Warfare 2019, not a reskinned version that's twice as big as the game that it came out before. I've had a lot of fun playing Call of Duty over the years. I mean, I've played the good games, the great games, the trash games even. But I have to say that for the foreseeable future, my faith in COD is greatly, greatly diminished. In simpler terms, it's gone. I don't even have expectations for the next game because I'm not going to buy it. On second thought, I probably still will anyway, but you better believe I'm going to keep on complaining until the next one drops. But as a final send-off until the next garbage fire of a game drops, here's what I have to say to whoever's listening at Activision. The franchise is dying. Bring back Skylanders.